That Thursday night, Jesus and his disciples gathered in an upper room to celebrate the Passover together. The Passover, that special meal that commemorated God's saving action, how he delivered the people from slavery in Egypt to freedom in the Promised Land, and particularly that night when the angel of death passed over the homes that were guarded and protected by the Lamb's blood. After the meal, Jesus took a loaf of bread, gave thanks, broke it, and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take, eat. This is my body given for you." Then he took the cup, gave thanks, gave it to them, saying, "Drink of this, for it is my blood poured out for you, to forgive you." Then afterwards, he took a basin of water, knelt down at each of his disciples' feet, and began to wash their feet. When Jesus reached Peter, Peter became very upset and agitated, grabbing Jesus, saying, No, you should not be kneeling before us." And Jesus, looking at Peter, saying, "If I, your master, am willing to get down on my hands and knees before you, how then should you treat one another? And if you do not let me wash you, then you will not be saved." And Peter saying, "Don't just wash my feet, wash all of me." Jesus saying, "It is enough." Then looking at Judas Iscariot, Judas who had been fondling the pouch that contained the 30 coins all night long. "Go and do what you must." Judas turning to the disciples, making an excuse and scurrying out. Jesus led the disciples in a hymn and then invited them to join him out in the Garden of Gethsemane. He asked if they would stay awake, keep watch with him while he went off to pray. Jesus, deeply agitated, knelt down and began to pray, calling out, "Abba, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. But not what I want, what you want." Then Jesus went to find the disciples and found that they had fallen asleep. He woke them and said, "Couldn't you stay awake a little while with me? The spirit is willing, but our flesh is weak." Again he left to pray. Again he came back and found them asleep again and woke them. And a third time likewise. This time when he came back and woke them, he said, "Get up, for my betrayer has arrived." And Judas Iscariot was coming into the garden, leading a mob from the high priest. When Judas arrived, he greeted Jesus with a kiss of peace, the sign so that they know who to grab. "This is how you betray me, with the kiss of peace?" Jesus asked. When they grabbed and seized him, Peter became upset and violent. He grabbed a sword from somebody and began to wield it wildly. He struck the ear off of one of the servants. Jesus, taking the sword from Peter, saying, "If you will live by the sword, you will certainly die by it." Then taking up the ear, placing it back in its place and healing the man. Guards grabbed Jesus, dragged him away, as the disciples fled in terror.
my body given just night when he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to the disciples and said, "Take, eat. This is my body, which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me."
Then he took the cup, gave thanks for it too, offered it to them, drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, poured out for all to forgive your sin, broken, poured out, broken and poured out, all for me, broken, poured out, broken and poured out, all for you.
In the same way also he took the cup after supper, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink of it, all of you. This cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you for the forgiveness of sins. This do as often as you drink it in remembrance of me."
Is not this the bread? Is not this the wine? From a simple loaf and the fruit of the vine. This is his body. This is his blood. This is his forgiveness, and this is his love. Broken, poured out, broken and poured out, all for me. Broken, poured out, broken and poured out, all for you. Truly I will say, his presence is so real when we come together and join in this